everyone, Steph here from Sean and Steph IRL, and this video will continue our training series on how to vlog with your phone, and this continues our talks about editing. There's a lot that goes into the edit process, so I'm going to break it down into smaller chunks so it's easier to understand, easier to follow along. And this part of the editing process is all about working with audio and music in HitFilm Express. Now, before I begin, if you are joining us for the first time today, make sure you check out the other videos in this training series. I'm going to go over everything from the gear I recommend all the way to the editing techniques to get your video published to YouTube. And like I just mentioned, this is all about working with audio and music in HitFilm Express. So let's jump over to HitFilm and get started. Okay, so here I am inside HitFilm. Now before I begin, remember I'm working on a PC, but HitFilm does work on Mac and PC, so no matter what kind of computer you're using, you'll be able to use HitFilm Express. Okay, so here's our video, here's our edit, and we have done trimming, we've done speed changes, and we've added vertical video. Okay, you guys have learned so much so far, and it's just going so good. Now let's talk about audio. All right, audio is very important, and basically the most important part is when you speak to the camera, you want everyone to be able to hear you. Okay, so the very first thing I do when I'm talking about audio music is I like to go through and find the dialogue and raise those levels until we can hear them. So how do we do that? Well, what I want you to do, I want to show you over here, right here, this is your volume meters. Okay, you want your volume to be pretty close to zero. So if I watch this, if I play this through, all right, see I'm speaking, but I'm nowhere near zero. Okay, so we want to raise this up. So how do we do that? Well, all we're going to do is we're going to take this little line right here and we're going to move it up. Now let's watch where it goes. See how we're closer to zero? It's better than before. So that's fantastic. So what you want to do is you want to go through and find out wherever you have audio, you want to make sure your dialogue is close to zero. Okay. Now in this clip right here, you have to be really careful because I have that wind distortion like coming through. So I'm not going to be able to raise up my audio too much because the wind is already get us up to zero. So basically that clip is going to have to be as is, because if I raise this up past zero to hear my voice, you're going to see that we're going to go up and we're going to start peaking. That's when your audio levels are way up here in the red zone. Don't go in the red zone. Okay. We want to keep it at zero. We want to keep it at zero. Watch what happens.
Good morning from Cozumel, Mexico.
Do you hear how that's distortion, that audio distortion? So let's bring that back down. Unfortunately, because the wind wasn't being filtered out by my mic, so I lost a lot of that audio. So that happens, but it's okay. It'll work just fine. So let's go here to the next audio.
Good morning, everyone.
This is the most important audio because I'm speaking to the camera, and you can see that it wasn't near zero. So let's go ahead and raise that up.
Good morning, everyone. We're in Cozumel today, and
so we're close to zero, so that's perfect.
So it's going to be special because one thing, we are doing it completely with our iPhone.
Now there is some wind distortion there, but it's just going to have to be because we're on a boat and there's going to be wind. All right. So that's first. When you're working with your audio, first check your dialogue. Make sure if somebody's speaking that it's as close as you can get to zero. Okay. That's the easiest thing to do first. That's audio. Now we're going to talk about adding music. This is where it gets fun. This is my favorite part. I love this part of the edit process because this is where you're almost finished, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to put all these clips in here. These are going to be my footage. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to say footage. Okay. And then I'm going to make a new folder that's all for my music. So I'm going to call it music, if I can spell it correctly. All right. Now to put our music in here, remember how I told you you're going to be importing, you can import this way. Well, I'm going to show you one other way to import. If you bring up your file and you go to wherever your music is living. So here's my music. I can highlight all my music choices and I can drag them in to my folder like that, just like that. So you can drag and drop, easy, easy peasy. Okay, now let's talk about music. We get all of our music from a place called Epidemic Sound. I will put the links in the description. We absolutely love Epidemic Sound. They are an amazing music resource for YouTubers. All right, they have a small fee, but definitely go check that out if you're interested. Now there are a lot of other options for getting royalty-free music. I know YouTube has a bunch of cool ones, and there's all kinds of other sites that also sell royalty-free music. But the main thing to remember is it has to be royalty-free. Don't go and grab anything off of iTunes or on Spotify because your YouTube account's going to get flagged. So find a great royalty-free music site and download your music from them, okay? Make sure you know it's royalty-free and then you won't get flagged by YouTube. Now, when you're looking for music, we like to go like, if we're going Epidemic Sound, we go through, and if I find a song that I like, we download it, right? So if we like the sound of that, I don't know what it's going to be used for, but we slowly build up our library. And if you noticed in our videos, we use a lot of the same music. Well, it's because we have the same kind of feel in our videos, and we want to keep that. So go and download and start building your music library, and that's going to help you out. Okay, back to our edit. Now we have our music imported right here. Now, what music do I use? Well, this is how I work. So I always bring in all my music tracks that I want to use for this episode. And then I go, okay, I'm going to play these through. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to come up here and play it through. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a music that would go in the beginning of this. Okay, this is my edit piece that we're working on. So let's keep going. That one's okay. So let's keep going. That one's good. Let's keep going. That one's all right. And this is how it works. You just keep going through each of these. That one's okay. Let's keep going. And I actually think I like this one. I think this is a morning feel. So I'm going to use this one. I just want to push pause. So now to put this onto my edit, to put it in my timeline over here, what we're going to do is we're going to grab it, we're going to drag it, we're going to place it underneath. All right. We want to make sure that we don't place it over top of any audio. So if you have more than one layer of audio here, you can always put it underneath. So always put your music underneath all of your audio because it could overwrite your audio and you don't want that. All right. So now we have this audio piece, and audio can be worked with just like video footage. So we can trim it, we can cut it, we can do all kinds of things. So the beginning here, I want to show you what's happening. The beginning of this music doesn't actually start at the beginning. There's a piece here where there's no music. So I want to edit that out. I want to cut it so it's a little bit shorter. So let's move this to where it starts to actually play, which is right about here. And then let's just drag that in so it cuts it away. Just like that. And then move it back to the beginning. So now we have this music on here. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so now we have our music entered and it's ready to go. Now, if you wanted to start editing to your music, this is where you're going to start fine-tuning your edit a little bit more. And I like to make my edits go to the beat of the music. If you want to, you don't have to do this. You can just put music on there and then you're good to go. But if you want to edit to the music, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's not as difficult as it sounds. So I'm going to zoom in here on our timeline, and we have this video. Right? And I have this nice morning scene, and I kind of want to start here. It's going to be some kind of action, right? Because it's all slow. And you wanted something to happen on that moment, right? Well, I think I kind of want the footage of the boats to start happening on that moment. So what do I do with that? Well, I'm going to zoom out, and from here, I'm going to zoom out. And I want to move down. I want to move out all of these pieces of footage that are here. Okay. Which is all of this. Now we go back. And I'm going to move it down. Okay. We're going to move it down like this. Because I want my boat footage to start like this. Right here. Okay. Just like that. I want this boat footage to start here. No problem. I just moved everything down. Okay, now what are we going to put in this space here? Well, I don't know. Let's go back to our footage and see. So let's go back to our media. And this is where you're going to start getting really, really fine-tuning that edit of yours. So let's go back to our clip here with the coffee. Okay, maybe we have to add some more things to this clip. So we have this coming out, and we have it sitting down, which is really nice. And we have Sean's glass coming down, sitting down. And then we're going into this, oops, actually want to use this here, this boat here. So I missed this piece here for the speed change, missed that. So let's move this down, okay? So we have a pretty big section right here that we want to fill in, okay? Maybe we have a nice slow piece that can go here. So let's go here and look at our video with our, okay, well, nothing's really there. Sean sits down. So let's look here at the next one. We have our cheers shot right here. Okay. This video right here is kind of nice. I know it's not in order, but it doesn't have to be. No one's going to know. So let's go ahead and let's take something out of here. Let's find something to stick in this space. There's got to be something here. We have all these clips. There's got to be something that we can stick in this space. Let's go here. All right. So if we want to put just this piece in right here, we're going to make an I. We're going to press I for in, and then I'm going to move this out here, and I'm going to press O for out. So now this little section is only going to be this little teeny piece here. So then I can move this, and I actually, if you see what I did here, I overrode my audio, so I want to actually undo that and pull this back in up here. And we're going to shrink this down a little. So then it will fit inside this audio so we don't override our music. Okay, so now we've got something that looks like this. All right, here's something else we could do. Instead of doing it that way, because we have two boats next to each other, let's take this up here. Let's move all of this down like this. And let's start off with this fun clip in the water right here. Like that. See that edit? That was cool. See that? See how that works? All right, so now we have this amazing edit with our audio. All I did was change a few things around, moved a couple clips, and then put that fun clip at the beginning so that we could make that edit start where we had the slow-mo boats coming in where the music sort of picked up and kept going. All right, so now let's talk about down here with where our music starts to blend in with our dialogue. We've got two places that happens, okay? We've got here and we've got here during the Welcome to Cozumel. So what we're going to do, first of all, we want our music to stop here where it goes down because we don't want any more past to go over top of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to press C. I'm going to cut the music right here. Press V and get rid of this, delete. Okay, so I delete all that extra audio that we don't need. Now, let's talk about what's happening right here. Okay, we want this to go down, the music to go down when my audio comes in. How do we do that? Well, we're going to create something called a keyframe. And to make a keyframe, you're going to go and you're going to hold down Control or Command on Mac. So Control on PC, Command on Mac, and it's going to come up with this little crosshair. See that? And if I zoom in here just a little bit, let's go ahead and see the crosshair. Okay. The crosshair, by putting if you click on your little audio here, it's going to make this little thing called a keyframe. Now this little keyframe can be moved. So I like to put in 2 keyframes, okay, because then it's going to allow me to move one down. So when our audio comes in, okay, so when our dialogue comes in right here, our music's going to go down, okay? And we'll probably want to keep our music down for the rest of this video. So let's play this through. And maybe that's too far, so let's do a little bit up a little and maybe pull this back some. Okay? And maybe we want to move this over a little bit and move this. So this is just completely playing with your audio. I think this is a little too quiet. All right, so. Did you see that? So we just lowered the levels of our music so that our audio you could hear your audio more. And then at the end here, if you wanted to do a cool little fade out, you can add an effect. You can go over here and put fade, not face, fade. And we're doing an audio fade. So we're going to drag that audio fade over here to our at the very top of our clip, stick that on there, and it's going to slowly fade out from there.
Good morning, everyone.
And then it goes into our audio, okay? Which we'll probably do here. We'll probably edit this up like that. All right. So now you just added audio, or you fixed your audio. If you have any dialogue issues, you raised your audio up, and then you added music, and then you added keyframes to your music where you want your music to go down when you have dialogue on top of your music. Okay. So now we have this really cool edit just like this. Let's play it through from the beginning with the music. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, that's it. That's your audio and your music. It's so awesome. Now you would continue to keep going through the rest of your edits, raising up your dialogue if necessary, and then adding your music tracks in. You can put as many music tracks as you want. Use them wherever you want. Use them to create an emotion. So your viewers can have an emotion with what you're trying to give, the feeling that you're trying to get across. I mean, music is very, very powerful. So definitely use it in your videos. It makes your videos so much better. All right. Now that's it for audio and music. So join me on the next tutorial where I talk all about adding in effects. That's going to be fun. Once again, I'm Steph from Sean and Steph IRL. If you would like more vlogging tips, check out makebettervlogs.com. Also, if you would like a downloadable PDF version of this training series, go ahead and check the links in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.